Hello and welcome everyone. Today we'll learn one of the poem from CBSE class 10th English. The name of the poem is Animals. This poem has been written by Walt Whitman. This poem has been taken from the First Flight book. First of all, we'll see the poet Walt Whitman. He is an American poet. He was born on 31st May 1819 in West Hills, New York, USA. He died on 26 March 1892 in Camden, New Jersey, USA. Walt Whitman was a major figure in early American poetry. Whitman is called the father of free verse. He broke the tradition of rhyme and metrical poetry with his revolutionary new kind of poetry was free verse. And his famous books are Leaves of Grass, Songs of Myself, etc. First of all, we'll see the introduction of the poem Animals. This poem has been taken from his work Song of Myself from the book Leaves of Grass. The present poem deals with a theme that man must preserve the humanity, the human quality. He should have good human values. He should not behave like an animal. But here, the poem is quite meaningful one. In this poem, some difficult words will occur. The first word is placid, means calm or peaceful. Sweat, here it means complaint. Especially sweat means to perspire when our body release the water from our pores, skin pores, that to be said as a sweat. Whine, cry or complaining, sins, wrongdoing, evil deeds, demented, mad or disturbed. Few more words, kneels, to bend or bow down with the support of knees, evince, show or reveal. Possessions, ownership of something. Tokens, symbols or the qualities that man bear or hold. Now let's see the poem in detail. Animals. There are 4 stanzas. The first stanza is here. I think. Here I stands for the poet. I think I could turn and live with animals. Here the poet is presently living in a civilian area society and he decided that he can change his place of residence and go into the forest and stay with the animals. So I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid. Here they are animals. The animals are so placid, calm, cool and self-contained, self-satisfied. They don't have any greediness. They are innocent, kind. I stand, poets stand and look at them for long and long. Here poetic device is repetition, though it is a free verse. I think I could turn and live with animals. Here the man is in the company of animals. He finds something, a genuine quality of innocence and kindness to be with the animals. He don't want to live with the animals or the human beings because they have so much bad or wrongdoing things. Poet, I stand and look at them long and long. The poet is observing their behavior for a long time. The poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals because the poet finds the world of animal is better than that of human beings. He further says that he finds the animal more peaceful, calm, placid than the human beings. They are not greedy, they are not jealous. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are calm and have no greed of worldly things, possession of mania, or any kind of achievements. They are self contained, means they are happy with life and never interfere in the lives of others. Humans have the habit of interfering, disturbing the lives of others. So the poet thinks that animals are better than the human beings. For because being calm and not interfering in the matter of others. The poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and look at the animal for a long time, observing. He want to be one with them. Here we have literary devices like anaphora. Here the repetition of the use of word at the beginning of two or more lines, I think and I stand. That's why it is an anaphora. Further repetition of words. The repetition of words are here. The long word is used twice. Second number stanza. They do not sweat and whine about their conditions. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the many of owning the things. It means they do not sweat. The animal do not sweat or complain or whine about their conditions. But human beings at each stage, each moment, they are not satisfied with their achievements and their activities. They do not lie awake in the dark. Animals do not remain in the dark having any bad conspiracy or weep for their sins. They never lamented what they have done. They do not make me sick discussing their duties to God. And the animals, when they are in the company, they never discuss what they have done for others or the God. And they are working selflessly, but human has a selfish intention behind all the activities. The poet says that unlike humans, animals don't complain if any misery, sadness. They never cry out loud like humans do to show what they have lost. They never stay awake in the night, crying in the repentance for their wrongdoing. This means that animals are not different from the human beings because they don't show the anger or grief, sadness if something wrong happens with them. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. He says so because most of the human beings do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. They boast what they do. They do so in order to gain the popularity, selfish intentions among their fellow or company. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate poet by doing such a thing just to gain some praise from their fellow people. He feels that animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess the things. In this stanza, we have poetic devices like anaphora. Here also repetition of the words at the start of two or three lines are there. They do not sweat. They do not lie awake. They do not make me sick. These are the expressions which are repeated, causing the figure of speech, literary device, anaphora. Moving towards stanza number 3, not one kneels to another, nor to This is kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me the tokens of myself. They show them plainly in their positions. In this stanza, we come to know that here human beings are kneeling, begging before another human beings in terms of hierarchy or the greatness or the smallness. But the poet observed that only the animals can evince or show their relations to the poet, and poet love it, poet accept it. Here the animals and the man has so many common qualities, but here the man is behaving like a human, the man is behaving like a animal, losing his human qualities, and the tokens and symbols are like this. Here animals should have the innocence and kindness, same should be possessed by the human beings while being with the other people to be in human, but it doesn't happen. He become sometimes cruel and brutal, causing the violence. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with the more respect to be compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never gives more or less importance to any other people. Everybody is equal among all the animals. Everyone in the animal world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves to be the happiest or the saddest person on the earth. Here the poet says that he has never seen any animal showing the devotion and dedication to anyone by bowing down, giving respect in front of a person. They never do so even for their ancestors. They do not show devotions towards the God like a human do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other animal. Everyone in the animal world is happy and free. They are not like human beings who find themselves to be happiest and saddest person on the earth. Further, the poet says that animals are more honest, showing their relations to the other animals. They have a strong bond and good relationship among themselves. Here, he wants to say that the animals use other animals as their food and they never try to hide this. Whereas human beings show that they have nice and friend relations with others, selfish intentions behind establishing the relations, though the reality is opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that the animals are true towards the showing their relations with the other animals. In this stanza, we have a literary device like anaphora. Again, repeated use of the words at the beginning of two or more lines. No, not one kneels, not one is respectable. Again, one more literary device, repetition, the repetition of words. For example, use of the word here. Last number stanza, I wonder where they get these tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago, negligently dropped them? In this stanza, the poet concludes that initially the man was animal, living with the animal, but he progressed from the animals and he become human with his intelligence, but thereafter he transformed like anything and he become cruel and brutal. But again there is a need of kindness and innocence from the side of human being. Therefore the poet is preparing to be relaxed with the animals, so he want the animals should have the good quality. That's why he is spending the time with them. I wonder where they get these tokens. The animals and human beings have the same quality, but the animals have preserved, the human beings have lost their human qualities for the sake of greediness. So at last the poet introspects, analyzes himself and says that where the animals got these good qualities, he questions himself that where is only good qualities are gone. Did he leave them or had careless lost them somewhere? The qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, are now seen in animals only. He wonders that humans gave up these qualities for the sake of selfishness and greediness, and they have been passed on to the animals. Literary devices, here is alteration, the repetition of the sound or consonants at the beginning of two words. I wonder, where did they get those tokens? W sound is repeated in the words wonder and where. So here we are there to conclude. In this poem of animals, the poet has described that his will to be with the animals and become an animal is quite opt, because he thinks animals are far better than the human beings. That is the core element of the poem. Human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other, but animals are calm and self-contented, satisfied. The animals are happy with what they have. They are not dissatisfied. They never complain about their sadness, miseries, and sorrows. Man is wrongdoer, and he runs behind the luxurious things of this world, whereas animals are honest and self-content. They live a life which is full of honesty and less greed and jealousy. So man should have this quality to live happily and lead his life with kindness and innocence. So I hope, children, you will come to know that the man should behave and hold the good qualities. So this is what something from this poem. Thank you.